The SEC has just absolutely lost their minds, but I believe that this is actually extremely bullish for crypto and specifically bullish for XRP. And so in this video, I'll explain to you guys exactly why I'm stacking these XRPs like ketchup. And if you want to take full advantage of this crazy opportunity, it would be very wise to focus, right? Because what the SEC has been doing is no bueno. But through our own efforts, at least for our portfolio, everything can be made good. Oh, I do that sometimes. Oh. Anyway, there was a very big institution, FBG Capital, who withdrew $35 million from Binance and $9 million from OKX just before, just before the news dropped, right? Before the SEC sued Binance, news reported they took their money out. After the SEC sued them, though, they actually put their money back in. And this can mean a couple of different things. One, they knew of whatever was about to happen, so they sold their crypto and took it out. And then the moment they saw that things dipped by about 10%, they went back in hard. Then again, there's a lot of plausibilities here. The thing is, you have to understand the market. You have to understand what situation we're in right now and what the best course of action should be. I am not your financial advisor, but I've been in the crypto market for 10 years. I've been making videos on YouTube consistently for 6 years in a row. And if there's one thing that I know, it's what phase of the market we're in, or because I cover it every single day, and I've done this for like 2,000 days in a row. The crypto news, I know what the narrative is, and I know when things are changing. And when I tell you that things are changing and I'm noticing it, please listen, because I'm doing this all for you. As I've said earlier, guys, I'll be replying to every single comment. Might take a couple of hours, but I'm replying. So if there's anything you'd like to say, let me know down below and make sure you press that freaking like button. Let's go. Now, first of all, one thing that is interesting is just when Hong Kong and things over in Asia have started to get bullish on crypto, the SEC started yet another crackdown. It's just interesting. But one thing you should note is that every single year, the SEC has done something stupid, something crazy. They went after some crypto companies, and every single time the crypto market crashed pretty significantly. And I mean mostly, for example, when they went after FTX or after Ripple, all these different pieces, at least some part of the crypto space had a major crash. And I'm not talking about 5, 9%, whatever. No, I'm talking about a serious meltdown of the entire market, or at least specifically the assets mentioned. This time around, it's not the case. As I said, we're going down like 5, some coins are going down 9.5% or so. But generally speaking here, Bitcoin is holding up pretty strong. It went from 27,500 to 29,900. 25.9. Did I say that correctly? And now the next day, I can't call this bleeding. Bitcoin is still at $25,700. Again, down a little bit, sure, but that's to be expected when the biggest crypto exchange is in a lot of trouble. I think it was more expected that the entire crypto market was going to have a hard freaking fall. But it's holding up pretty nicely if you think about it. So where does this all play in for XRP? Why is this so extremely bullish? Well, we all know that Ripple doesn't play around too much and that they continuously are up in the stakes, up in their battle, and, well, they continue on living, so to speak, when the SEC expects them to lay down and give up and accept the punishment up the buttocks. But no, not all of us are interested in Gary Gensler, and so Ripple themselves are continuing to expand even though Gary Gensler doesn't want it. By, for example, this, Ripple officially confirmed sponsorship of Money 2020 Europe, featuring 8,000 plus guests. I'd like to get back to this article though. 3 reasons why the SEC didn't mention XRP as a security in the Binance lawsuit. I personally think it's because the SEC already thinks, let's not put XRP in there twice. Because that would basically be like you're suing somebody and then somewhere else you're also saying, well, but they are a security. You're risking now that you were wrong and now that the entire other case is invalidated because you mentioned XRP in there, which now could be overturned. To reiterate that, they sued Ripple, claiming XRP is a security. Now they're suing Binance, claiming all these different cryptos are securities. If out of this newer case against Binance, one of them turns out to not be any trouble at all, every single one of them might get the same treatment because it's all the same complaint that alleges this now. Now that the Ripple is separate for XRP, if they included it in there, it could basically mean if this whole case were to end up victorious for Ripple, or they'd sign some sort of deal away that gives Ripple the XRP is fine now type of stamp, that would ruin their chances in the entire other lawsuit. And Eleanor Charette from Fox says, why even open up for more discovery issues by doing this? Fair point. If Ripple wins strategically, it weakens the SEC's case against Binance, and the SEC wants to stay away from risking inconsistent decisions. It just makes a lot of sense. And it's funny, some people say, why list XRP when it isn't traded on Binance? First of all, it is traded on Binance itself. The complaint is not only against Binance US, and you have to also understand there are a lot more coins on Binance US that were not mentioned here. But let's come back to the whole idea here. Why is this bullish for XRP? And again, guys, make sure you press that like button if you think this makes sense. But what the SEC has done right now is literally go after the biggest players in crypto. Coinbase was huge. Don't get it twisted, but Coinbase got small balls. Very teeny tiny testicles. They got balls, but they're tiny. Binance, on the other hand, I don't think they play around with these games. And what I mean with that is they're going to fight tooth and nail to screw the SEC in the ass. And I think they've got some powerful and good friends there that are not going to let this slide by. No, I think they're going to want proper justice. So what I think is happening now is that because they're going after Binance, because they're going after the main freaking arm, we're going to see some major players, right? That's what the article alleges, and that's what makes logical sense. Major crypto players appear to buy the dip following the SEC lawsuit against Binance, and I personally think major players are going to start seeing the SEC's dumbass lawsuits, their dumbass complaints, and that in turn could be two things: an indirect consequence for XRP and a direct one. Indirect is that a lot of these players will most likely support Binance in the case. They'll explain that Binance did no wrong and that they couldn't have known, which at that point would be bullish for the Ripple case, partially because that means more pressure on the SEC, and also partially because that means they're going to be fighting for the idea that some players in the space did not have proper regulatory clarity, which is one of the points Ripple makes, one of the affirmative defenses, their fair notice defense. And directly because, well, one of the most prominent cases in crypto is the Ripple one. Now that people are noticing, the SEC is just taking a piss at all of us with the way they approach crypto. They don't want to be there for the US investors. They're going to take Ripple and their fight a lot more seriously, potentially offering more support. And potentially now the judge in that department as well can notice the SEC's regulation by enforcement approach of them not wanting to sit down and talk, but then wanting to just put the iron fist over everything. And potentially the judge can be like, you know what? This is not the way to go about it. On the one hand, you say, come in and talk to us, we'll get it done. But Binance US was talking to you for years. Why go after them now? Again, it's just a theory, but it makes a lot of sense that the SEC just brought themselves a lot more trouble than they were hoping for. In a similar sense is that they did not expect Ripple to put up such a tough fight. I don't think Binance is going to give up for a single inch. I do think they're going to work out of the best interest of the crypto sector. And so I personally believe there's a 0% chance they're going to let people lose money in all this because, again, their initial principle is make sure the investors are protected, because if that doesn't happen, the entire crypto market just flashes for a very good little while. It's going to take another couple months to build that back up. I must again add, even if Binance went down, crypto will survive. It's not a key player in that sense. It's a key player now, but it's not a key necessity for crypto to thrive and survive. It's a key player in the current ecosystem, but that will also probably change. A lot of you guys were not here a while ago, but Mt. Gox used to be a massive player, and the moment that they crashed, so to speak, people thought crypto was dead, but it wasn't. Because look at where we are today. Crypto's worth way more than any point, any valuation anybody could have ever dreamed at that point. But at that point, you didn't know. And the same thing is going to happen again, I believe. Little side note, why is this shirt so wrinkly? You think I got time to grab an iron when this is happening? I guess some of you guys are lucky that you could just say, hey, iron, come on, let's go. Hello, where's my shirt? But unfortunately, I'm not in that position as of this point. If I were to try that, hey, iron, come on, shirt. I would get a slap and might not be the best thing to do. Continuing on, USDT issuer Tether invests $1 billion in the world's largest Bitcoin mining site in El Salvador. Yeah, they just announced that yesterday they're going to be mining a lot of freaking Bitcoin through volcano energy. Also, a little fun fact in terms of the number, US regulators' net worth. Not sure why I said net worth. Net now covers 155 billion of crypto after lawsuit also goes against Binance. I got confused because this website is I'm scrolling now, but it's scrolling in a weird way. Why would it scrolls so strange? Anyway, you can see in articles like this that one key SEC case is a lawsuit against Ripple Labs. You see, all these articles are picking back up the fact that the SEC and Ripple are also having this fight. And what Aries said, to clarify, the new XRP ledger chain won't have any Ripple or US association. Already a number of enterprises are looking forward to utilizing XRP. It's time to govern and push this space with innovation in ways that were never possible. More to follow with YouTube guests. What that is about, we'll talk about later today or tomorrow, because there's so much crazy stuff in store for XRP. I'm always just amazed with everything that's happening, but everything will be revealed to you in due course, so stick around. And always, guys, make sure you've got the notification bell on, because what if the Ripple also just finishes tomorrow? I'm gonna press stream the moment that it happens. I've got a lot of alerts on to hopefully wake me up if it were to be the middle of the night. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.